All right, what's good, everybody? This is your man Jay Light back at it again. We're going to talk today about the power of higher time frames. Specifically, we're going to talk about the daily. It is a Saturday right now, and so take a look here, and Bitcoin is moving. Bitcoin is currently at $18,000 and dropping, severely oversold. I'm going to talk to you about the power of the daily chart. So, daily chart essentially lets you know big moves, large moves, big directional movements. Right? If you look back over here on the chart, this is December of 2020. Market made a big jump up and ran all the way up here, about 40,000 pullback, and then ran to our all-time high of about 65,000 roughly. Most people miss this run, right? Perfect. Okay. So the market comes back down, right? How do you know it's time to start buying again? If you always come to the daily chart will give you some indicators, some very, very, very good indicators. So this market's falling over here. No one knows when it's going to go up. It looks like it found a bottom. There's wicks here, but look at that. Pop back up and the market went lower. No one knows when to really change direction, when it's going to change direction, or when something's ready to buy. I can give you a pretty good indication right here. So as the market is dropping, it's the daily, these are days. Market put in a low right here, right? A wick. So what is the point that actually put that wick in, that low? This is the lower low, I know, but we're going to go with this low for right now. It is this right here. This push down and then pull back right here. Push the market to this low or this low. And so this particular area right here that pushed the market lower is going to tell you when the market's potentially ready to start buying. And as you see right here, I mean, there were opportunities for small pullbacks here, here, and here. And I say small, but those are like $8,000 pullbacks for Bitcoin. But here's the key. The market wasn't really ready to start buying until we took out the point that actually pushed us to our low. See that? I boxed up those wicks right here. Let me zoom in a little bit more so you can see it. I boxed up these wicks right here. Market was coming down, pushed us to a new low here, and then eventually this low got taken out too, so you could actually use both of them. This right here, boom. Look at market was coming down. Had this little pullback right here, this green candle, and the market actually went and put in a new low. How do you know when the market's ready to start potentially buying? This is not just jump in because it breaks it, but when the market takes out the area that took you to your low, and I mean your low. So this was our initial low, but came back and tested it and it rejected. This was our low, never went lower than that. That was 28.5 roughly, back in June of 21. We tested that, got rejected. It wasn't until we broke that level right here that the market kind of gave us an indication that it really wanted to go up. And then guess what? We came back and tested this level again. See that? It's at that level again, got rejected. Wasn't until here that the market kind of gave you a clear indicator that it was ready to go up. And so if you were looking to buy Bitcoin, obviously, I mean, if you got lucky down here, maybe you caught one. But no one saw this big run up coming. It just kind of happened. And then once it happened, it was just testing these levels. Finally broke this level, really good indicator that the market's ready to go up. Once it broke this level, amazing indicator that the market's ready to go up. So as you guys see, look at the market broke above, came back down, retested that level for support, and never looked back. So daily chart's really, really good for swing trades and for big movements. You can really see the direction of the market. Those lower time frames are for scalping and situational things, but typically if you go to the daily there, it's pretty easy to see which way the market's actually trending. it was easy to see the market was trending up, even with this massive pullback right here. I mean, it went from 40,000 down to 28. Even with this massive pullback, it was pretty easy to see on the daily that this market was moving up. And so if we keep going now, we cleared this level, right? Ran all the way up to an all-time high of about 69,000, roughly, depending on which broker you're on, or exchange you're on, I'm sorry. Market came back down to that same point, tested it, shot back up. And even right here, I'll show you on the opposite side. So this is the last point right here that pushed that market to the all-time high. You see, market was coming up, pullback, coming up, pullback. And then eventually, right here, this last run pushed us all the way up to that new all-time high. So how do you know when the market's getting ready to potentially start selling? When that particular moment is breached, that area, I'm sorry, is breached, retested, and then that market just melted. And I'll have you know, it never ever came back. It left it and never ever came back. Obviously, at this point, we didn't know this was going to be the all-time high, but usually when you get an area or a zone that takes out the previous high and it gets broken on the opposite side, usually it's a good indicator the market wants to go the opposite direction. And in this case, oh boy, did it go the opposite direction. Look how the market came back and tested even those zones that it already had drawn. Look at that. Even those from way back over a year ago, market was still testing those zones, breaking above and breaking below. And then it was this point here, the market just fell off. And so here we are right now. This is the daily chart. Daily chart right now. So if you guys are wondering, okay, I like Bitcoin, I'm involved in Bitcoin, when do I know when the market could potentially start selling back up? Same difference. Market's got to come back above this level right here. Why? Market's melting, small pullback, the market comes down again. This is our last pullback before the market just kept going. Secondary option right here. Market's got to break above that area for the same reason. Market's coming down, pullback, and then dropped a little lower. So if you want to know if Bitcoin is going to potentially be on the way back up, got to break this area. Got to break this area. Until that happens, I'm not looking for any potential buys. I'm expecting this market to continue to either go down or to either vacillate in this area, maybe testing it, rejecting, maybe breaking above, maybe hanging out in this area, maybe breaking back below, and then back above. It's not until I see this, that clear break above and retest where we started selling. This right here will give me an indicator, hey, maybe the market's ready to go. This one is kind of a prelude to it, but there's also resistance right there. But this one right here is the one that will really tell me, hey, the market's potentially ready to go again. Usually after a big move, the market consolidates. So we just had a huge move right here from essentially, 31,000 down to about 17. So I expect the market to kind of vacillate in this area for maybe a few months, actually, as the market kind of figure out what it wants to do. But if you're looking to buy Bitcoin, trade it. I'm sorry, if you're looking to trade Bitcoin and trade it for a buy, I wouldn't look for a buy until you break or breach this area. This area is very, 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 very important. Look at these sellers right here. So once this area gets broken, that's a potential sign that, hey, Bitcoin may want to start going back up. And that area is about 23,000. Yeah, about 23,000 at the top, 22.6 at the bottom. Once you see that area gets breached on the upside, that's when you'll potentially start looking for those buys. But you can do this on any chart. I just chose Bitcoin because Bitcoin's running right now, and it's actually moving down to the downside. So I know people are wondering, hey, when will Bitcoin potentially go back up? You heard it here. It really has very little to do with what most people think. Right now, it's just a lot of fear in the market. But just like over here, there was a lot of optimism and hope and belief that pushed the market back up. And so it's going to take those same things to actually really push the market back up on this side. And that usually comes with time. It usually comes with time and changing conditions, changing circumstances. There's a lot going on in the world right now. But even aside from all that, just looking at the chart, I'll go to oil because I know a lot of people are looking at oil prices right now. I'll go to oil really quick. And oil's the same thing. Daily chart, right? It's got to be daily chart. All right, so this is where we had our all-time high, right? Well, not all-time high, but most recent high. This is the level right here that pushed that market up to the highest point. And then as you guys see here, once it broke down here, that's when the market pushed way down. And I say way down because this was $130 a barrel, and it came all the way back down to 94, which is a huge drop for oil. But it doesn't always mean the market's going to keep going down. In this case, it actually ran right back above that level, came back below. This is the consolidation I was telling you about. Kind of hung out in this zone and then went up here to test this level again. So oil, you're thinking oil, okay, when will I know when oil is potentially going to sell off? Well, we already had our movement over here. I could look over here. This is the all-time high here recently. But our most recent high, let me take all this stuff off the screen. Our most recent high is right here. Boom. How did we get there? That area right there. We're already below that area right there. Potential signs that the market could potentially start to sell off. We might see some relief targets where the market could go. This last area here. Boom. Already wicked there. And then this area here, $100. So 109, $109 per barrel would be the target here that we like to see, and then potentially $100 a barrel. That will let you kind of know. But right now, we have already breached the level that pushed us to our high, and so we're already on the downside right now of oil. Doesn't mean it can't pop back above there, but like I told you, the daily chart is just a really good indicator of where the market's really moving. Overall, you guys can see, look at this thing is going up, up, and away. But in the past, it was going up, up, and away. And I'll show you here. Boom. Okay, perfect. This was 2018. 2018 on oil. This was our high point right here. So this one's actually pretty close. This is the point that pushed the market to its high point. Once we lost that level, the market kept going down. If we didn't know this information that was happening right here, it would have looked like the market's still going up, kind of like it is right now. But this moment in time right here was a clue. And then you could look at every single one that pushed us to another high. This area here came down, pushed us to another high. Every single one of these areas that pushed us to a new high, the more of those that get broken, it's just going to tell you that the market really wants to go lower. And I'll show you that here. And every one that actually gets broken, I'm going to go with this high here. They're about the same, so we'll go with this one. Sweet. All right. So I'm going to play this replay. And every time one gets broken, just more confirmation that the market wants to go down. So you saw we hit this one. We stuttered here. We dropped below. And then we dropped below this one. And the market just kept going down. So you can use the daily chart as a really, really good indicator. And then you can kind of zoom in to find your perfect entry. This was back 2018. Look at that market just melted and melted and melted. And then when do you think the market's going to start going back up? Doesn't matter about being oversold on the RSI. Doesn't matter about any other indicator. What really matters is, this is price action, by the way. This is the moment in time right here that pushed us to that low. So we dropped, pulled back, and then we took off to that low right there. I mean, these are all pretty much the same. And so once this area gets taken out, break above it, that's when you know the market could potentially start going back up. And let's see. Reject it. And these moments are timeless. You see how the market went back below, even went lower. Doesn't matter. We can put more lines in to find out when it's actually going to turn around. But I guarantee you, when the market comes back up here, it's going to respect this level, break it, and then probably retest it. You know why? Because it's an important area, no matter what. And so then down here, like I showed you, this is the point here that pushed us to our new low right here. Boom. Once this level got broken, it might be time for oil to turn around. This is the next level it has to break. Every single one of those that gets breaking on the way up just gives you more confirmation. Even on pullbacks, market could pull back all at once. Every time it breaks one of those and keeps going and pulls back to it and keeps going, it's a clear indicator to you there that the market wants to go that direction. If you get it where it just bounce back and forth, that's telling you that's consolidation or indecision. So right now you're kind of getting that indecision. Look at that. Market respected that level, rejected off of it. See that? We knew that was coming already. We're trying again. Look at that. We broke above it. Came back to retest that level. We're hanging out there right now. And let's see. Consolidation. Boom. Market taps that one last time and then runs away from it. So it's real clear. I mean, you don't have to have indicators. You don't have to have all the other stuff that so many other traders use. This is just a good directional, where you can figure out your directional bias. Real simple to use too. I'm just using this rectangle box here. That's it. No, this indicator's on here, but I'm not really using it. I'll take it away. That's it. And then the same thing on the upside. The market's going to test these zones that I drew way back over here in 2018. The market's going to come back and retest these over here eventually. And so just want to reiterate that upside, downside. Daily chart though is the best way to find that. It's kind of hard to see it sometimes on other time frames that are lower because you're getting so much information. But the real key is once you see it on the daily, you'll understand. Look at that. Market came back below that area, retested it. You can actually leave these lines on your chart. Retested it, hung out down here, broke above again. Came back to retest that area and took off again. So I could even do it again, you guys, right down here. So let's forget about everything else that happened. We don't know anything else that happened. This point right here was the point that pushed us to our low. So the market was coming down. There was a pullback right here. We put in a low. It was this point we have to break here to tell us when the market wants to go back up. Potentially. Well, let me reiterate that. Potentially. As you see right here, it broke above this one and then came right back down. Didn't put in a new low though, and then came back and broke it and kept going. So now we expect this market to come back down here potentially and keep going to the upside. If it's going to keep buying. If it drops below, then you know what that means. You need to change your bias. Say, we thought the market was going to keep going up, but we lose these levels, then hey, it's telling you that the market potentially wants to go down, just like it did right there. We put in a slightly lower low, but pretty much held this area. It's really consolidating in this area. What you want to see for the upside is you want to see this area get broken and go. For the downside, you want to see this area get broken and drop below it. So it doesn't really matter where we are, honestly. I'll look at that. Market broke above, came back and retested and took off. It doesn't matter where you are, honestly. The real trick is to find your highest point or your lowest point. You can show you again, amidst all this consolidation, that's really what it is. This was our high point, right? So what is the air? What is that? Let me take all this off. Let's say we forgot that. Let me see. I want to undo that actually. All right, let's remove all of that. Here we go. So you're looking right here. This is our high point, clear to see. Even if you look back here, doesn't even matter if it's not our highest point. This is our highest point here, right? But we're just going with what we have right now. This is the point right here that pushed us to that high. So market was coming up, it pulled back. This is the area that launched us all the way up here. So it makes sense that the market would have to come back down here, reject off that level if we want to go down. Just know in consolidation, you're going to get up and down, up and down, up and down. In trends, it's a lot easier to see. But we'll read this one either way. All right, there's the retest. Huge rejection. Huge rejection. And even if it doesn't seem like much, but that was actually a 2-day rejection. And that was about 300 pips off that. Huge rejection off that level. So that even if you were just trading that, that trade worked out for you. Market broke above this level. Came back to what? Retested. Launched off that level again. So you literally could have traded both ways off this same area. The break below, here's your retest. That's over 300 pips. Break above, here's your retest. I mean, it probably gave you what? Over 300 pips that way too. So these lines are amazing. Daily chart, everybody, daily chart is your friend. You want to start on the daily chart or higher. Kind of get your directional bias. As you can see right now, if I zoom out, looks like it's still actually in a downtrend. You can see the clear downtrend here, and then this looks like a lot more like consolidation. But even in that consolidation, you can still go to the highest or lowest point and still trade it. Doesn't matter. Even in consolidation. One more time. This is the lowest point over here. This is the lowest point over here. This is the lowest point over here. I could use either one of these. Let's say I use this one right here. This is the point that pushed us to our low. Let me get rid of that. Right here. This is the point that pushed us to our low. So we need to break above this to let us know when the market wants to start buying again. We broke above and then got rejected. This is a whole day, so you would have known. Tried it again, rejected. Tried it again, got above, came back. Tried it again, actually gave you a retest right here and shot up. That worked out. Came back one last time and then launched off that area. So it was easy to see that this was consolidation. And it was easy to see that this was your launch. And then you say, I missed this. How do I trade this? Market came back down, broke below. It's a clear indication that the market may want to go down lower. And what did it do? Go down lower. So like I said, it doesn't matter where you are. It's a lot easier when you're in a trend though, when you catch a bottom or a top. And currently right now, we're actually in a steep trend. Look at this. This is the current market. Steep trend on the way up. So you guys are wondering, hey, when will I know this thing's going to go down? And this gas price is going to get a little cheaper. One last time. This area right here told us that. We just dropped below that 120. And we're all the way down to about 111 right now. How do I know if gas price is going to continue? Oil price is going to continue to get cheaper? Every single time we breach one of these areas. Every single time we breach one of these areas, it's just more confirmation the market wants to go down. Eventually, you hit a point of consolidation. But even in that consolidation, just wait for your zones to tell you what to do. All right, so I'm gonna leave it right there, everybody. I hope you had a good time with that. Pretty clear indicator. It doesn't matter what you're trading, stocks, uh, commodities, crypto. Doesn't matter. Tesla right now is clearly telling you that Tesla wants to go down. Tesla's not gonna come back up. Not gonna come back up really until we'll use the most current information. This is the point right here that pushed us to that low. You're not going to see Tesla really jump until we can break this area, about 768, if you're a Tesla fan. And so that's just the daily chart speaking to you. Downtrend, you can see it clear. We're not going to see a turnaround until we can start breaching some of these points that actually took us down. This area is important. This area is important. Same as that one. This area is important. Once you see those start to get breached and continue on the upside, that's when you'll know, hey, this market's starting to turn around. Maybe I want to get involved. All right, we'll leave it right there, everybody. Have a great and wonderful day. We'll see you on the next one.